Welcome to another mock talk. Getting ready to go pick up my race packet here in a few minutes, less than 24 hours to my race. And, I was thinking about this yesterday as I was driving up and here this morning some. And the thing I wanted to ask you is, what are you thankful for? And do you have an attitude of gratitude? And, the last week I've been reflecting by myself over, the last 12 weeks and the training I've gone through and, lessons I've learned and different things like that, and just the process that I've gone through to get ready for this race. And I have a lot to be thankful for. And then, of course, Texarkana has a special place for me, a story I'm going to share with you here in a few minutes. But I made it to Texarkana safely, as you can tell, and got some good food last night, and been reading a lot. Actually read through 2 whole books. They weren't very long. One was about basketball, another one was kind of about mental mindset, and really reaffirmed a lot of the stuff that I've been learning and kind of put it in a nice package. So that was really good. And one of the things that was talked about was having an attitude of gratitude. And of course, I've already known that, I've heard that, but I had some things there that I guess could encourage you along those lines. And I used to work with an athletic ministry called Athletes in Action. And that was one of the things that we would challenge athletes to think about when they're playing, is what are you thankful for? And so, as I get ready for my race, I've been thinking about that. And what am I thankful for? I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for my training that I've been able to get. I'm thankful for the lessons I've learned. There's so much for me to be thankful for. And I'm thankful for the opportunity that I get to go out and run, and I get to compete, and get to enjoy and do something that I like doing. And, it is a formidable mountain to climb. So it's not going to be easy, and it's not guaranteed that I'll do great, but prayerfully I will, and that's the goal, and that's what I'm going to shoot for. And I'm going to have my mind right and ready to go to get ready to take care of things. And, my confidence tomorrow, it's going to come from my preparation. So I believe that I will be fine, and I will fall back to the training that I've done up to this point, as I read in one of the other books I was reading last night. But anyway, I did want to share one story too, about, like I said, Texarkana and having a special place in my heart. I've never stayed here before. I've only driven through here many, many times in my life, and I've stopped at restaurants and eaten and that kind of stuff, but never stayed here. But there was one story that happened years ago that to me demonstrated God's faithfulness, and also was a picture of something that I was listening to on the way up here. 6-hour drive. I got lots of opportunity to listen to music and that kind of stuff, but also listen to some sermons and going through the book of Galatians. And he talked about through love serve one another. And I thought about this particular story that I experienced years ago, and how this person demonstrated this for me, and it was really cool, and I'm thankful for it. And hopefully it'll encourage you along the lines of God's faithfulness and goodness and taking care of us, and then also, maybe encourage you to do the same thing for someone else, as this young person did for me. But I used to drive. I went to Penn State for undergrad and grew up in the Dallas area, and I lived in Dallas. My mom was in Dallas, and I had friends in Dallas where I went to high school and that kind of stuff. And so went off to college, and I'd come back during the summer times. I would spend the summer down in Dallas and paint houses and do that kind of stuff. And so I'd drive back and forth. And my grandmother had given me a car, 1979 Plymouth Valari. It was white with a turquoise interior, had a bench seat across the front. But it only had 43,000 miles on it when I got it. And the thing was reliable. It got me from Penn State to Texas and back 6 times. So it was a good car, although it wasn't the most attractive car, or it wasn't the newest car at that time or anything like that. But it was a good car, and it did what it needed to do. But I was driving through Arkansas on my way home. About mile marker 51, I had a blowout, and pulled over to the side of the road, and I could not get the tire off. Just couldn't get it. I'm sitting there. I'm out in the middle of nowhere. Cars were flying by, 18-wheelers were flying by, and I'm just like, what am I going to do? And I'm praying, and you're vulnerable in that situation. You hear stories of weird stuff happening and that kind of stuff, and of course you don't want to be part of that. But I'm just praying and trying to figure out what I'm going to do, and this guy pulls over, and he comes to help me, and between the two of us, we're able to get the tire off and get it changed and that kind of stuff. And we get done, I start to ask him a question. He goes, boy, were you about to share the gospel with me? And I was like, yeah. And he goes, well, I was about to do the same thing with you. I was like, oh, no way. And so we started talking and stuff. And he's like, hey, I'm going to go get breakfast in Texarkana. Why don't you follow me? I was like, all right. So we went to McDonald's, and then he insists on buying my lunch or my breakfast. And I'm like, what, dude? You just helped me. I should be buying yours. And he's like, no, I insist. And he did it and went and told me about his family and all this kind of stuff and this girl he was about to marry. And just a neat story, and just so grateful and thankful, and looking back on that and seeing God's faithfulness and how he took care of me and kept me safe and watched over me in that situation. And so every time I drive through Texarkana, I remember that, and I remember that story, and just meeting that other believer and being able to talk to him and, get encouraged from him and encourage him and that kind of stuff. And I remember he was part of the Brown family. His last name was Brown, and they had some band, the Brown family, something, I don't know. So maybe if he hears this, maybe he'll reach out to me. I don't know. It's been a long time though. But it's neat to see or think about and reflect on things to be thankful for. And that's something that I am for sure thankful for as I'm here. And I get the opportunity to go do the Run the Line half marathon tomorrow, which I'll be in Texas for part of it, Arkansas for part of it, and back in Texas. So I'm excited about that. But just wanted to share that, encourage that story with you, and I want to encourage you, and I want you to think about, what are you thankful for? When things get tough, when things get depressing, shoot, it's raining outside right now. It's been raining since last night, been raining all morning, and when it gets cloudy and stuff like that, it can get real discouraging and real depressing. And something that'll help you get going in the right direction is thinking about what you're thankful for and asking that question, what am I thankful for, and practicing that attitude of gratitude. And so just want to encourage you to do that, and then look for opportunities that through love to serve one another. Because if you serve others, that's also going to help you feel better and feel good about yourself, and encourage you in those kinds of things. So just want to share that. I'll probably share a little bit more later today, maybe this evening, before I get ready for my race tomorrow. I'm excited about it. A little nervous about it in some ways, but excited. But, that's just pre-game jitters. And just always remember that God's grace is sufficient. Thanks for listening.